Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob, leader of the Unchained 5 Minutes, and I'm joined by my Stats Center brother, Owen, the man, Jackson. What is going on, Owen? How are you?
Good. I just did the most kind of like really awkward, weird, double-handed high five there. But other than that, I'm good. Yeah, man. It's sunny. I'm okay. I started building and painting some Treebeard models this weekend and realised that Lord of the Rings models are tiny. Look at this fella.
Treebeard. What, are you and James getting into some sort of Lord of the Rings? Like, are you like getting kinky with James into Gandalf, or what's going on?
I don't know. If you didn't buy Treebeard though, like you're not in the gang, right? I think that's the way it goes down. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm good. I'm very well. I had a fun weekend.
Okay.
And looking forward to talking to you. How are you, sir? You well?
I'm feeling a bit better than I was over the weekend. I was super run down over the weekend, so I wasn't able to do the coverage of the event that you attended on Saturday, which is a bit disappointing. But truthfully, like in the morning I felt rubbish. By the afternoon I was in bed. So I was like, right, cool, we did it. So there we go. That's fine. But a bit disappointed. But there is going to be a top 8 qualifier, which happened the Saturday before Hammer Time 8. So we'll be doing the coverage of that. So looking forward to that. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, apart from that, really good. Like you said, sunny outside. That always puts a springy step at the moment, which is super nice. And then looking forward to looking at all these lists. So just for everyone who is here today, obviously me and Owen are going to do our regular Stat Center stuff. Not regular at all. Our amazing Stat Center stuff. We're going to go through the event results from the weekend. I think we're going to be talking about the Hammer 8 time pack. At the end of the show, there is an intercontinental inter-host smackdown between all of the Honest War, not all of, but some of the Honest Wargamer hosts. It's a very long name for whatever the flick.
I've got it, Rob. I wrote it down.
What is it? What's the called?
That's the abbreviation right there, which is the Honest Wargamer, Honest Arse-Caking Inter-Show Co-Host Throwdown Showdown. There you go.
That's what it's called. That's what it's called. Where you guys who are watching now, you're going to get to pick the lists via vote for what we play. All the lists were written by Mr. Adam Mumford and stolen from Secret Santa. They're just a bunch of stolen lists, basically. But you guys get to choose what we play as. Do you want to, for some reason, make James play Korn? Who knows? Do you want to somehow make Nathan play Gitz? Whatever. Do you want to play Rob play something he hates? You get to choose later. So that'll be later on. So... is there going to be a belt? We should do, but I don't like. Maybe we'll make a belt, at least a sticker. But that'll be at the end of the show. However, before we get onto that, Owen, event results from around the world. Should we get into it?
Let's do it. Yeah, there's been some events around the world this weekend. Primarily in Russia, we had our man Philip straight off the plane with all the hot gossip. So he sent me a load of information. So what was it this weekend, Rob? It was what was it called? The Frostheart GT.
Yes, Frostheart GT. We've got the Arrow City TTS event as well, and then also Grand Hammer as well to talk about. I think like today. Dan Brook, thanks for donating £10 to the show. Dan Brook, thanks, man. That's really lovely of you. Appreciate you. That's all going to camera funds for live coverage. If anyone's interested. Frostheart GT in Western Siberia. Can you say the name? Have you got this?
Ekaterinburg.
Wow, this is why Owen's on. Intercontinental. Fancy Owen is what new name for Owen there. So do you want to tell us what happened at the event? Well, what the event was,
Yeah, exactly. I think this has become part of our thing now, isn't it? We just talk about the format just so people can understand. So this is pretty traditional for most Warhammer tournaments around the world. So it was 60 players, 5 rounds. It looked like it was in a huge sports hall, so they had a lot of space. They had auxiliary objectives in play, and it was very much down the route of what we do in Hammer Time and other tournaments, whereby you can use the full suite of I believe there's 18 auxiliaries, and you can attempt 2 each round, and you can't repeat any of them, which I quite like. And the pack was pretty standard now in terms of missions. So they played Forcing the Hand, The Blade's Edge, Focal Points, Battle for the Pass, and Shifting Objectives. So that was it.
Focal Point, such a specific mission nowadays. Like, you can't ignore how beneficial that is to some like competitive monster builds, right? Like, just so useful. And then Blade's Edge. I spoke about that on Friday. I think that's always interesting. And also just the auxiliaries being played like quite progressively over in Russia, and everyone in Australia being like, "Nah, mate, I don't want this at all in my game." Plague of Mice, yes. Auxiliaries, no. They got a lot to deal with, so I understand. I think. Okay. All right. Yeah. Nice. There was also loads of great pictures up on social media from Philip as well that have been floating around. It looks like it was held in like an abandoned industrial silo or something similar. I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but they look amazing. Really big fan of the pictures. And the tables look really nice. Terrain looked really great, I thought, and it was really nice just seeing some Warhammer out there, to be honest.
Yeah, good on them. I mean, I believe that this is a regular on the Russian scene. This is an annual event, so they obviously found ways to make it happen and be COVID safe. So good on them. And it looks like the couple of the usual suspects doing well at the event, Rob.
Yes, yeah, you can't really argue with Philip Kartiev in real life out or on TTS. The man is a machine. Very excited to see him at an international event at some point and see how him and his team dominate. But we could reference that in a moment. But yeah, really, really good. And he went with Fire Slayers. Not really much to unpack about the Fire Slayers list. There were 2 lists that went 5-0. But would you say that there was much to unpack about the Fire Slayer list particularly? I don't think so. I think it was fairly standard. It was Hermdall, Lords of the Lodge. So just an immovably tough army and just really competent. Really competent. I mean, if you don't have the tools to deal with it, you just can't, I think, is the ultimate answer.
Yeah. You just gotta grind through that stuff. I believe he had 45 Hearthguard Berserker, so 2 20s and a pocket 5 and he had no Rune Smiter on foot though, if I'm not mistaken, so he couldn't do any tunneling, but he had the Rune Smiter on a Magmadroth for a bit of extra movement. I think you always see that core of Lords of the Lodge and generally 40 Hearthguard and the heroes to fill it out, and then it's that flavour to taste thing. Some people like to take the shooters, the Auric Hearthguard. Some people just like to take, a nice 10 of Volkites, perhaps. It's you've seen a lot of Heimdall Lords of the Lodge Fire Slayers. Yeah, and he admitted, he said, not much to see here. Very, very similar to the sorts of lists that he runs.
But also smart of him. I don't know if the missions were put ahead of time, but actually looking at the missions, they're all very centrally focused. There's nothing like where you got to really whomp across the board. He hasn't got spread out. There's nothing like our favourite battle plan, Scorched Earth, in there. It's very, you can play the non-tunneling Fire Slayers list into these battle plans particularly well, I'd say, which is actually true also of Vladimir Udalov. Fucking great. I only want to do coverage of Russian events, I think, in the future, to be honest, Owen. But Vladimir was running a Bone Splitters list, which is Bone Grins. And again, looking at that list, 2 big bricks of 30 Uruks in there, in a 2-drop, in the Brutal Ruck, and I think it's... Let me just get my notes up. Sorry, everyone. In the Brutal Ruck and the Crop Ruck is what we saw. Mm-hmm. And the thing to take away from that is that also plays very similar, really, to the Fire Slayers army. Not quite the same. It doesn't have the kind of attrition output, you can't touch it, but it puts a ton of wounds really far forward. It can run and charge with those 2 big bricks of 30, and it's also got some nice screening potential with the Savage Ball Boys. And it's just a really, really competent list. Puts lots of bodies forward, pushes out into the midfield, and makes it you can't really move around it, and you've got to chew through it all. And it's got enough CP for Inspiring Presence and other stuff to make sure you can hold off. And I would say the battle plans have really fed into both of those 2 armies' victories. Well, not that either army are particularly bad. I think they're both brilliant armies, but I think if you actually look at the battle plans and you think, right, okay, just throwing everything into the centre and beyond, keeping your opponent off, really, really competent. And a really, really good play. I liked it. I don't know if you went through the list in detail in any way.
I haven't gone through it in the scientific detail just because we've got quite a lot to cover today, but I did see that it had triple Wardock, and having played a couple of players of note with Bone Splitters, Bone Grins is the sub-faction where you can't retreat. So when you've got big blocks of 30 lads that can potentially double move and fly, then you've got issues of being perhaps not alpha struck, but alpha tagged. Like the alpha tag So, you can also, there's a fair amount of buffs that you can get from doing the dances. So there's a way of getting around the magic DOMs. You can still get those troops buffed up. But yeah, if you use your ball boys going double move and fly, and going and tagging things in place that you can't retreat from, it's very good on the missions. And then, as you say, he's got lots of bodies to mob everything, mobbing stuff on focal points, mobbing stuff on the Blade's Edge, dominating the middle on Battle for the Pass. Lots of good battle line for shifting objectives. So yeah, whilst the Fire Slayers, like you say, they've got the output and the Bone Splitters don't, then they just want to tag you in place and hold you up. Good.
Yeah, really good, really good, and also really nice seeing Bone Splitters up there as well. Congratulations to Vladimir. I think that's a great shout. Obviously, Philip as well. I think Philip at this point doesn't really need congratulating that he's brilliant at Warhammer. I think at this point he needs to be put into. I want to see him at international events. I want to see him lead a team and start smash. And I know he will, and has done already. But I want to see these big names from around the world start smashing against each other and really put the pedal to the metal in those fronts. But also, I worry in the future for those team events when Philip, because Philip does really well, smashes all the time. I imagine he's bringing up his local community are probably leveling up skill wise as well significantly, and also a lot of tournaments happening over there at the minute as well. So very much looking forward to seeing generally the meta that exists there when COVID's fully gone, and also to see them on the world stage at some point.
Yeah, so two little things to lead off from there was I believe that he played his teammate on table 1, game 5. So obviously, like you say, they are really, he's developing together. They're developing a really good community, competitive, because that's the way you get better, is by playing better players, isn't it? And a little side note, actually, quite a little, just to round it out. The last time I've met Philip once in person, and that was at the Dutch GT. And that was when he was playing his Fire Slayers versus a very similar Bone Splitters list by Benjamin Saba, Bone Grins. Benjamin prevailed there and took that tournament out. So, there's, seeing these big players from around the world meeting up against each other. Because Philip does come over to the UK. I think he comes to the London GT as well. So it'll be fun to see him coming over with from Russia with love, with filthy lists. It'd be good. But saying that, Rob, neither Philip nor Vladimir actually took out the tournament.
Really?
It was Oleg. Yeah, Oleg Krasulin. He was a point behind Vladimir and 3 points behind Philip, but he got an extra 10 points for winning. He had the best painted army, so that pushed him up, and he took out the tournament with a 4-1, and that was with a very traditional Lumineth Sire list: Orlan Legion, Tactless, Dawn Riders, Sentinels, Wardens, the classic. A couple of people have been saying, where are the lists available? The lists are floating around all over Twitter, and if anybody really needs one of those lists, then they can DM me or something, and I can dig them out. But they're not in a simple format that we can copy and paste and put on the show. So yeah, the lists are around, aren't they, Rob? They are.
Yeah. And I can and the plan is so next week, fingers crossed, we should be having stats, and then incorporate with that. The Honest Wargamer website is having a bit of a redo. And so what we should be able to do as of next week is host the list at the same time so you guys can check them out. And then maybe at some point we'll get write-ups happening as well. So we're looking to expand the Monday show, or I'm at least looking to expand the Monday show. So for event support, so it works really nicely. So yeah, you guys might have only ever tuned into this one time. You'll be like, oh, what do you mean Fire Slayers have got a standard build? And I'm like, standard like the sun rising in the morning, but then we can write it out as a list and put it up on the Honest Wargamer website, and then you guys can have it. So I think that'll be really good, especially with the new edition coming around. I think people are going to need to learn everything kind of again from the ground up. So that'll be a nice kind of change. That's some of our plans to improve the Monday show, as well as obviously having Owen Jackson on, which is the best improvement we can have. Just more of Owen.
Shut up, Rob. Wow. Shut up. So at the same time as that was going on, or kind of, there's a bit of an overlap. There was also a TTS tournament arranged and ran by Philip, which I got the information on. So again, a similar pack, smaller amount of players, and effectively a one-day, so 32 players, 3 rounds, playing Battle for the Pass, Scorched Earth, and Forcing the Hand. So Yep, very much a fan of those battle plans. Yeah, so Rob, are you ready? Are you sat down, actually? Are you
I'm
okay?
ready. I'm ready.
You
I know
ready?
where this is going, so I'm already ready. Go for it.
So, in a strong field of 32 players, there were 3 Seraphons, 6 Lumineth, and Slanesh won. Mr. Kirill Shishov, an Angry Alpacas member, no doubt, no less. And yeah, he won with Slanesh Godseekers.
Now, there's a lot to unpack about that. Let's talk about the list first. I'm going to just throw my hat in the ring here and say either Kirill is a wizard, or everyone else is terrible. And I don't mind calling 31 players like absolutely in the bin rubbish. I'm right to your face, lads. How you can't beat it beyond me. But maybe it's the other way, and Kirill's a sort of demon wizard that we don't know. He's just doing lewds and seeing the moves on the fucking roof at the same time. Who knows? Should we talk about what's in the list?
Yeah, let's talk about what's in the list. I think that we're somewhere in the middle there, Rob. I reckon that maybe he had a good matchup for a game or two, but he's got. I reckon there's some cute bits in this. So it's a Slanesh list. It's the Godseekers host. He has Glutos or Scolion, who's turning up all over the place. I keep seeing him all over TTS. He's quite a solid. He's a solid pick for 400 points, definitely. And then we have the Mask. A Lord of Pain, who is the Speed Chaser, and he has the cameo of the Dark Prince. And then we have 3x5 Chaos Warriors, hand weapons and shields. And then he has 10 Slick Blade Seekers, 5 Slick Blade Seekers, 5 Bliss Barb Seekers, 5 Plague Sensor Bearers as an ally from the Skaven book, which is the source. That's the little special source. Mm-hmm. And then a Seeker Cavalcade and Geminids.
So piling. The piling war, we know as of this weekend. The piling wars have activated. We'll talk about this more. And in fact, that's already featured a little bit in the winning list that we saw from Russia. There's double piling activated in the Hermdar Lords of the Lodge list. So there's already a lot of piling shenanigans generally happening. A lot of movement shenanigans happening in the Bone Splitters list. Not quite as much piling here. The Seeker Cavalcade allows you to have a 6-inch piling as opposed to. And it's a good 6-inch piling as well, so piling from 6 inches away. So it does mean you get to retreat and also charge at the same time, which is useful. But there's the special source, Owen. Do you want to tell us about the sriracha on the on the Slanesh list?
I'm going to talk to you the Chipotle mayo. It's basically these 5 Plague Sensor Bearers. So obviously we saw with Tavi's list from Grandhammer at the weekend, and a kind of general thing that you can see is that people are trying to put stuff in the list that's going to just do chip damage to multiple things to generate depravity, right? It's a weird way to play the game. I'm sure that when whoever wrote the book visualized the army, they expected it to be these kind of opulent grand heroes surrounded by these kind of warriors and troops swirling around them, not like a load of lads clustered, a load of spawn clustered around a rock waiting to get smashed in the face by a foameroid crusher. So whilst it might not necessarily be how they visualize the game to look, then these Plague Sensor Bearers, I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to get my book. I believe that at the end of the combat phase on a 3-up, they can do mortal wounds to everything within 3 inches. Yep. So effectively, it's a great way of just chipping a bit off lots of units to get those depravity up. So he's obviously making that work. And I do really like the Slick Blade Seekers. They are inside the cavalcade, they are fun, and there is some tech that you can play with there.
And there is some output.
And he's got access to -2 to hit to protect everything, because obviously Glutos is all mixed in with the Geminids. So he's got some debuff and some control there. But it's pretty small. He is very much relying on the mid to late game summoning to actually win, right?
Yeah, very, very small. And also the output is is very low on the board, really. From range, especially. But I guess if you look at it, maybe the linchpin of this list in some ways is those 3 blocks of 5 Chaos Warriors, 90 points allied in. Yeah, 10 wounds apiece. They hold an objective absolutely fine. You can't really camo skink them off. Not really. They can't they're not just going to get picked off. Pretty much predominantly. and then everything else you just throw in a load forward. I mean, Gluttos, minus 1 to hit in that aura on those models to keep them in. I mean, you would have to play this very, very well. So I think, big shout out to Kirill, playing a phenomenal game. A set of games, to take this through. Geminids in there as well is also another pick, because basically, if he gets Geminids off, and don't forget you got that native +1 to cast on Gluttos as well, does mean and if he, as he goes on, eventually he gets a reroll, I think, as time goes on. But it does mean that he's going to have a -2 to hit something really scary, which might be really, really useful. And so he can kind of semi-protect the Slick Blades in some way. I don't imagine he just sends the Slick Blades off. He kind of plays them more defensively, but you don't know. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive. I wonder, how it would stand up in, a bigger event, because it was 3 rounds, and what would happen if it pumped into, rounds 4 and 5. A lot of looking at 3... so when we did the stats proper, me and LLV, we never took in 3-day, 1-day stats. It just wasn't a thing. Because you hit game 4 and everything falls apart. And you could talk to Pete from the 40k Stats Center. Same thing happens. 1-day events. It's just oh, you're doing okay. Here's the hammer in the face. Because you can really game 4, day 2, rough time to be alive. In some cases. The amount of confidence I've seen at the end of a Saturday night where someone's like, I'm going 3-0 actually. I'm doing pretty well. You see them at lunchtime on a Sunday, they're like, okay, yeah, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have got here. This is the wrong place for me.
Yeah. Nosebleed territory. And
but that said, this looks like, if you're going to look at a Slanesh list, I would say that Seeker Cavalcade and those Slick Blade Seekers are the thing that you're going to see in the future.
Yes.
So congratulations to him. Torian, thank you for resubscribing for 3 months. Anything you want to say about this?
No, just it just seems to be the way that people are going in terms of the Slick Blade and the Bliss Barb Seekers inside the Cavalcade, with some way of generating depravity, a cute trick way of generating depravity. That's and Glutos. Glutos is expect to see the candy wagon or whatever it's called, on tables coming soon to your tabletop, Mr. Glutos. Yes.
Yeah. Glutos, and expect to see him in loads of forces as well. If he stays at 400 points, and his command ability now has given him he's if you don't kill him, he's effectively immortal. In a lot of ways, he's very, very survivable because he can just heal himself up to full to a significant degree. So, really well done to Kirill. So that was the Arrow City TTS event, and he took it out. And he had Battle for the Pass, Scorched Earth, and Force in the Hand as well. So, Scorched Earth, I would say, a really good one to have done well on, personally. Do you know what his path to victory was, or do we not know that?
I don't know that. Okay. I could possibly check. No, but I don't know, I'm afraid. But those are quite favourable missions because he's got the speed to get across with Forcing the Hand and Battle for the Pass to a degree. Whilst he doesn't have a teleport, then the speed really helps on those missions, just to get up and then trade. Good on you, Kirill. Doing it with Slanesh. They haven't been posting great results, so that is a bit of an outlier there.
New book as well. New book. I think, and also, the piling from 6 inches isn't new in the game, but it's been fairly rare and hasn't been dished out all over the place. Obviously now it's a lot more common. So, past 2 battle tomes, we've got Slick Blade Seekers. Obviously, we're going to get it from all the Hurricane models from Lumineth. Previously, we saw it only in Khorne from being able to pile it from 6 inches because of a command ability from a Bloodthirster, and then we saw it on Sisters of Slaughter. And I don't know if there were many. Grasping Plate from Slaves to Darkness, and that's about it. I don't think that there are many other examples of it, of a big piling from 6 inches. So, still fairly rare, right?
Yeah. Obviously, the Exalted Greater Demon of Khorne also has a 6-inch piling rod, but you're not paying 540 points for that. So, and obviously your Sisters of Slaughter, the OG. The good 6-inch piling is proper special sauce. I'm sorry, I'm just digging up the list for Scott B. I'm going to just put it in the chat for you now. It might be badly formatted, Scott, but there you go. That's the list if anybody wanted to see that Slanesh list.
Yeah. And also maybe Skylar Angrathim has also got it as well, but no one literally cares about that model, so important.
But none of them are Corgus Cull with his 8-inch piling. Yeah.
Yes, true. The tournament was a tournament called, this is important to note, the Arrow City TTS event. So Arrow City TTS. So 32 players there over 3 rounds. That was a one-dayer. Moving on to the next one-dayer was a Grand Hammer TTS event that Owen played in this weekend. We did the list show for this on Friday, and we were meant to do we were meant to do the coverage and didn't, and I apologise about that again. Jeffrey and Barney, lovely fellas. 60 players, 3 rounds, 3-hour rounds. Curated auxiliaries is a note here, Owen. Curated.
Basically just skimming off, very much like I do, skimming off the easy ones. So stuff such as like the bait and territorial. There's a few easy wins there with the secondaries or the auxiliaries. So yeah, just taking off the slightly easier ones to do, and then you had a pool to choose from, and you could attempt two per round, and you couldn't repeat any. So pretty standard stuff. And because the tournament grew so much, then they arranged for the top 8 to go through to this knockout final on April the 10th that we will be doing the live
coverage of. I would ask you to do the live coverage with me, Owen. Owen, are you free to do the live coverage with me?
No, I got something on, mate. I can't do it. I'm sorry that day.
So you qualified into the top 8, am I correct?
I did. I snuck in in 7th. Yeah. It was a fun day. I managed to get two wins and a draw, and it was a proper draw. It wasn't like we got to the end of the game and had an argument and we had to call it a draw. It was a pure draw against Morton, the King of Corn. It was a great
sword
day.
in the sword, Morton.
Sword in the Sword Morton, the man, the myth, the legend. Yes. So I played him in game 3. But we'll come back to that. I don't want to bollock on about myself too much. We played Shifting Objectives, Battle for the Pass, and the Blade's Edge. I think Shifting Objectives, Battle for the Pass, and Blade's Edge have pretty much been in every tournament pack that we've talked about so far, right?
Really offended, but that's okay.
By what?
Blade's Edge. Just... that's what made me sick, I think, reviewing it on the Friday. I think that's what put me under. Did you enjoy playing Blade's Edge that game? Like, because you played Blade's Edge last, right, against Morton. How did you find the battle plan?
I think it punishes mediocre play, so I hate it because I should have wrapped that game up. No, it's fine. It's fine. He did the classic. You get outdropped. You then have to fight against being a reasonably high amount of points down. Thankfully, I was only 4-0 down. Like if your opponent takes first turn and gets 6 points, it's so hard to come back from. But anyway, no. So it was a good pack. It was fine. It was great. And just a tip, in case we ramble on and I forget to say so, like this was Jeffrey and Barney's first tournament, and they did a stellar job. Really
both
well
are in
organised.
the chat, by the way. They're both.
Really nice.
Yeah, both Jeffrey and Barney. So big shout out to Jeffrey and Barney in the chat. Thanks for organising some gaming in the Sigmar community for everyone. You're heroes, and we thank you very much. It's very lovely of you to do so. Good job. Excellent. And I'm looking forward to the top 8 as well. I like that this is becoming a little bit of a thing. Maybe only going to be a TTS thing, but I think I'd like to see it maybe in the real world as well. We know that here in Nottingham actually, but in the UK, Bobo's are 2 100 people events. So 2 100 people events with the top 8s from both of those going into a 16-person knockout tournament here at the TSN Arena after. So it's becoming a thing, which is quite exciting, right?
Well, Rob, it's not in the notes, Rob, but I can announce something now if you like.
Please. Yeah, we're on it.
It's been in my brain for a while, and I'm just thinking that with with the potential for countries opening up and the new GHB coming at the end before the GHB 2020 is taken out and replaced by 2021, we're going to do Hammer Time Masters, Rob. So I'm going to gather together. I'm
excited about that. Fuck yes. Okay, I'm in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
So we're going to gather together all of the all of the results from all of the Hammer Time events, and then the top performing 16 players based on some metric that I create. Very much like the UK rankings that people may have seen online. We'll do a TTS Hammer Time Masters, which will just gather together a year's worth of results, and those top 16 players will play, which will be fun, right?
Very, very fun. I'm very excited about that. Can we do coverage? Is that okay? Like, I'm really into that. Yes. Finger guns. That's great. The Hammer Time Masters. I'm into that. That's great. Super fun. Oh, all right. Yeah, cool. Great announcement.
But back to the weekend. So we had like 60 players. Playing these 3 rounds. Quite a varied meta. I've made a note that we had 19 different factions, and Caradron Overlords and Bone Reapers were the most represented. We have actually got some stats we can put on the screen if you like, Rob.
I've got it ready for this.
That Barney and Jeffrey kindly sent us.
There
Sweet. We go. Might open that up myself actually, so I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, great day. As I say, well organized, good round timings, good organization. Tick tick tick, all good, all gravy. So the headline, Rob. This, you know who this is? So this is. I'm really sorry. I might butcher someone's name here because I'm not sure on how to pronounce this. But this is Guillermo Famiani. He took out the event. Well, he qualified first with Idoneth Deepkin. And do you know who this is, Rob? This is the fella that brought all the Bladegeist spam to the last event. You know, like the
Forgiven in the chat.
Yeah. He took it out. He came first. So
Forgiven.
Yeah.
How do we say his name? Guillermo.
I'm going to go Guillermo Famiani. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
I'm just going to call him Forgive. It's there. Easier. Yeah, forgive. Chat. Big shout to you.
So he brought an Idoneth Deepkin army, Fwathan, and he beat a Daughters of Cain Keltnar list. He beat the monk spam, the 200 plague monks.
Wow.
So he chewed through all that, and then he also beat a classic Caradron Overlords Zilfin Vortex list. So some different threats there, took him out.
That's really impressive. Yeah, that's great. Look at these stats. There's some pretty significant stats here. So well done to the TOs for doing this. I quite like the complete auxiliaries one. Vengeful counter being the most achieved one, and domination being the least achieved one. I think that that's pretty interesting. OCR Bone Reapers being the most popular faction, but how did they end up doing as a win percentage over the course of the day? Did it average out because they had the most? Let me just find out. 50%. There you go. Averaged out.
Sorry, Rob. I've lost you. I don't know if it's my internet or your internet.
I think it might be mine, but it could be yours. Who knows? Are you back? Hello?
I'm back. Hello, I'm here. You went a little bit for a minute then, but you're fine. You're good.
Okay. It was one of
sorry,
us.
I cut into you then. What were you saying, Rob? I totally lost you. It was about the secondaries, the auxiliaries, right?
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on them?
I really do like the fact that they are curated, so it takes the easy ones out. Because I didn't really do very well with secondaries or auxiliaries over the weekend. Because the ones that you could choose from were generally quite difficult. But out of the curated ones, vengeful counter. So something dies, a unit dies on the same turn as your, you lose a unit and your opponent loses a unit, which seems pretty, it's going to happen in a combat game, right? And prized possession, that's normally one that I like to try and go for. Keep a hero with an artifact of power alive, but reasonably well completed that one. It's quite a tricky one. That you can sometimes use that to force your opponent to go after a hero that maybe you don't mind losing to protect another hero. Do you know what I mean?
There's some there.
Yeah, definitely. So there was. Do you want to very quickly talk about the other unbeaten lists and players that made it through?
Sure.
Because there's some of the usual suspects.
Futhwan smashed it, but then the other unbeaten list, Stephen follows with a Zinch Arcanum, the Archeon Kairos list that we've seen him play on the stream before, right?
Yep. Yeah, very much. He's still grinding with that, doing really well. Kairos with the portals, Darkfire Demon Rift. Big output from Archeon when he's bumped up with Infusion Arcanum for the +1 to hit and wound. Yeah, it's pretty much, this list is very heavily featured. On a side note, there were several Tzeentch Archaeons at the Russian event as well. Philip was saying that he had to battle his way through, I believe, 2 Tzeentch Archaeons. So, yeah, TTS or in real life, expect to see Archeon everywhere unless he has any big changes or the game changes significantly.
It's also like it's a good buy-in, right? Once you bought Archeon, painted Archeon, that's like a significant portion of a force for you to like play through. So it's quite low model count, so it's easy to put together. Also, Jeffrey in the chat, lovely fella. Stephen also won Best Sport with unanimous 3 votes, so big prop to him. Big prop to Stephen as well in that situation. Yeah, that's really nice.
And
go on.
He's a lovely fellow, and that's who I'm playing in the knockout tournament. That's my round 1.
Oh, great guy, great list. Great guy, great list. Okay. All right, let's see that practice happen. And then other unbeaten lists. Alex Tubb with his DOK Calibron. John Holcomb with his Big War Bone Splitter heavy list. Stuart Iron Gutsman.
I mean, at this stage, right?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically plays his own game at this stage, doesn't he, Stuart? He beat some really good lists as well. I believe that he beat Tzeentch and Seraphon. He beat Coalesced Seraphon, that's reducing all the damage. But
I think, and I mean this in all seriousness, he might be the best player in the world, or the most insane. I can't decide. I don't know anymore. Like, big shout out to Stuart. So he was running the 7 or 8 times 3 Yeti list with a Thunder Tusk in Winterbite. He's living in they're all living in. I think a lot of the TTS players are living in different places mentally to wherever the game is really at. And I think I want to move there where they live. Because it's
you want to go where Yetis is the answer. Yeah, that's what you're saying to me. Where some awful fine cast derpy model is like the meta. I'm gonna put the lists in the chat for anyone who wants to follow along. By the way,
if you guys don't know, there's a famous chef here in the UK called Heston Blumenthal who makes like gravy ice cream and other insane shit. I'm just gonna say, Iron Gutsman is the Heston Blumenthal of Age of Sigmar.
Wow, I'm sure he'll wear that badge with pride. Definitely, I think we should get him on a.
I got to get him on. I got to get him on and Joe and Noah sing on
again. That'd be fun.
There's all sorts of people I got to get on. I think right. Okay. Yeah. Agreed. Who else do we have? Sorry, I just want to make sure I got this. Casper also with his Tzeentch Host Arcanum list. We've had on the show play live as well. You, Owen, you were undefeated with your OBR Petrifex. And then Morton Winkle with his Corn as well. So that's really great. How are you feeling about the OBR Petrifex at the moment?
I think it's great. I have to admit, Rob, you were using the term DPS check a while ago, and I didn't really know what it meant. And now I know what it means, and I believe that my list does create a DPS check for a lot of other lists, much in the same way as, the Fire Slayers or the Bone Splitters that we were talking about earlier. Essentially, I take 70 Mortek Guards, so 40, a 20, and a 10. And I often make the 40 the thing that you need to go and kill. And 40 with a Gothazar Harvester, there aren't many things that can kill that. Like Archeon in Khorne going twice in game 3 didn't kill 20 with the Harvester. So, yeah, it's a proper grindy list. I have a single catapult to sit at the back and ping things off. And then I've got 70 Mortek, 2 Harvesters, and some support heroes. But yeah, Petrifex Harvesters with +1 to hit, +1 to wound, and +1 rend. I mean, I sent you the profile, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's pretty scary, man. Especially when they kill stuff, then you can then heal back into other units, and it's super creative. You can be with it. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about my stuff too much. But I did get to play Morton again in game 3. So he and I played out a draw. So we both got 2 wins and a draw each to go 7th and 8th. And I killed Archeon with a Harvester, and then the same Harvester went on and killed a Bloodthirster. It was glorious. Had a good time playing that. But yeah, we've got some overall notable information from the tournament, haven't we, Rob? Just in terms of how those sorts of players, we've got the picks that we picked from Friday and how they did, and then we've also then got some information just in general about, and then again, props to Barney and to Jeffrey for sending this stuff over. So our picks, Rob. You obviously chose Gutsman, so your status and your integrity as knowing what you're talking about. Straight. You got it. You're fine.
It's the most important bit. The most important bit is I just love a crazy man. That's where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I love a crazy man, but my crazy man in Scott Baker with the Corn Dragon went 0-3. So there's different crazies. But no, props to Scott. I believe that he had fun throwing the Corn Dragon around, and I've never seen it at a TTS tournament, so good for him. Mm-hmm. The other games, War Mill Harry with his bacon cannon went 2-1, and then Alan, who I played on game one, he lost to me in a very tight game, and then he won his other game, so he went 2-1 as well. Unfortunately, the Thring list that I really liked, double ironclad with the 20 Hearthguard Berserkers, only managed a 1-2. I think perhaps the mission pack didn't really favour KO. And then, looking at the overall KO performance, I had 6 players, but they went 8 wins and 10 losses with nobody in the top 8, Rob, which is straight KO.
That is very strange for KO. I would say, I read it was some flippant WhatsApp message between two people. I think maybe Arthur was playing at an event over the weekend or something, and someone was like, "I played KO. Turn 1 was ropey, but I got the double turn, and therefore I won." But had he got the turn, he'd have won. Which I really do. I've said this before on the show, and I think it's really, really fair. I think honestly, you talk about the priority roll mechanic a lot in Age of Sigmar, but never is it more relevant than KO. A double turn against KO, it feels like you're not really even playing a game. However, when you double into them, there's almost nothing they can do and their whole army fall apart. Like KO really want to go, you go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go. And they get a double. Whenever they get doubled, I think they're in a really, really tough spot. They can't really heal up in. I mean, they can heal, but I don't think they can heal enough after a double. They can heal enough after they've been hit once, and their attrition losses in that army are pretty significant. So there are a lot of output, and they're not a lot of. They can't really tank it a lot, and so I think sometimes you'll just have runs like that. Where they seem to drop down, and I think it's got I don't think it has loads to do with necessarily how well the KO players are playing, or even in sometimes the matchups. Although I do agree with Forgive, the Blade's Edge is rough for KO. I think because it's a really rough mission for a lot of armies because they don't want to screen out with all of their expensive stuff for you to hit them.
No.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's the end of my tirade about KO. Owen, sorry.
No, it's perfectly valid because, like you say, if you don't, often the KO players are looking to stay out of range with their shoot. Like they want to shoot all their stuff, but then stay quite far away. But if you're fast and you can get to them, and you don't get, and you get that double turn into them, then you're right. You can smash them up. Other notable factions, it's really nice that, as I say, Jeffrey and Barney have put together almost we've got the information for how the armies in general performed.
Yeah, so, like we infield report a roundup. This is great. Well done, Jeffrey and Barney. Yeah.
So the Oryx had a great day, going 8 wins, 4 losses. Tzeentch 9 wins, 3 losses. So I think with that there's only 4 players. Yeah, 4 players. So I think we had a couple of 3-0s and then a couple of 2-1s there. And then big one though. So the armies you expect to see do well. Seraphon went 6-3, so they all went 2-1. All the Seraphon players went 2-1. And then Daughters of Cain. Alex Tubbs obviously went 3-0 and qualified with his Calibron list. So if I played it the other day, actually, it's a really nice list. 2 units of Witches, 2 units of Shadow Stonkers, Marathi, and then the 15 shooters to teleport around. He went 3-0, but overall the faction only went 7-5. So he accounted for that. So if you take his result out, then the rest of them had a negative result for the weekend. So those fragile, teleporty, tricksy lists maybe don't do so well when everything's quite tightly packed. Like if you think about it, Blade's Edge were all quite tightly packed in together. What were the other missions? Shifting objectives, whilst they can dance around, it's not like a forcing the hand or a total commitment where that insane movement and the teleporting really helps them. So maybe the pack did punish KO and also those dock lists a little bit. But Cities is the headline, Rob. Cities Sigmar, 3 players and only 1 win between the 3 of them.
The lists, like, what was one of them? One of them was like the Hammerhall Lance with the Griff Chargers. One was like a techie, interesting living city list. And then there was only the one that had like, the other one was a Hammerhall list as well. I think it had a Unit of Iron Drakes in. I think that was the other list. But like that's fine. Like, I'm not expecting... Like, so Cities of Sigmar, other than, like, Philip Cartiev recently with a bunch of Phoenixes, and you can just go pure Phoenix Guard, have really only ever done 3-2-4-1 at tournaments. They've rarely done super well. Even someone who's been trying super hard, like Simon Hall, a quality player over in Australia, and who works really hard with that list, most of the time just pops a 4-1. He plays different stuff, different lists all the time. Like, I think probably the variety of lists that you see going 4-1, 3-2 out of Cities of Sigmar are much higher than most other books. Like, a variety of different units, although they generally tend to fit around Phoenix Guard, some sort of Dispossessed, a Luminarch, and then some other stuff. But sometimes not. It mixes up. I think one of the ultimate points, though, is that there is a very competent, still, very, very competent and strong Cities of Sigmar build in the Hallerheart Handgunner Bridge list. Just no one really is putting it together. Like, it's not the most fun to play. You drop a bridge down, you unload your shots, and it's like, and you do 1 billion spells into the opposing army. I would say maybe Lumineth feels like a counter because obviously you've got the 4-up spell ignore. Archeon's also a good counter to that as well with the 4-up spell ignore. So army wide, but you just don't see many people play it. It's like quite a techie top end. We saw Tom Maudsley play it and take out Blood and Glory. We saw it played in a team event that took out Brotherhood, and then the rest of it, no one really plays with it. I think mainly because no one can be asked.
Well, also on TTS, setting up all of your dwarfs around a bridge and then being like, I'm going to then move them over there, and then setting them all up again. Do you know what I mean? You did see players in real life turning up with the the pizza tray of doom or whatever, and they would just put it down and deploy everything around it. It's a bit a bit arduous to do that on TTS, so maybe that was a factor.
I think it's also arduous to do it I think it's arduous to do in real life. I think it's a lot, and probably we're going into the stage in the future where we talk about like the length of time that it's going to do hero phases and finish games. But it's also probably one of not the first example, because we've had old change hosts and other stuff. But it's a big involved game. Like, you're doing a lot. You roll a lot of dice. But anyway, sorry, I just said that. What else happened? Sinesh, 3 and 6. Interesting.
Yeah, all the players went 1 and 2, pretty much what you'd expect there. I know that some of the players just got some really rough matchups. Like they were just paired into the real top tier filth, unfortunately, the strength of that book sort of showed through. And those are the real main headlines that I've got in terms of, apart from it being a great tournament, me having a good time, everyone seeming to have a good time, and a really nice mixed meta. One thing to note, Rob, top 8 go through, right? 7 different factions. Amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, really good to see that. Apart from the 2 Tzeentch, then you've got Idoneth, Bone Reapers, Khorne, Ogres, Bigwire, and Daughters. So really nice to see that you don't have two of this, 3 of that, and obviously Seraphon are fine, right? Seraphon are fine because they didn't make it through.
Mid-tier, baby. Mid-tier only. No points changes. Completely mid-tier. We're okay. Anyway, I think one of the nice things about seeing results around the world, and also the Age of Sigmar community as a wholesale, pretty ignorant and belligerent group of Warhammer players, the Age of Sigmar community, which is like my favourite bit about the Age of Sigmar community. They're like, nah, I'll try and do this and make this work. And so you'll end up with some Yetis doing well, some Thunder Tusk lists knocking around the world. You'll end up with like weird, big shout out to the Bone Splitters list going 5-0 in that Russian meta. I feel like that would be a tough tournament. I don't feel that was an easy path to victory, personally. I think...
And if you think about it, Rob, like those Bone Splitters, they haven't got a stitch of clothing on, and how cold is it going to be out there in Siberia? I'm surprised that they could even get out of the deployment zone, shivering away there, thinking, fucking hell, why don't we play Icebone? Where are the Icebone lads? They know what they're doing in this environment.
I would only play their Bone Splitters if someone had printed and painted them like the miners in that Chernobyl film TV series where they're doing where they just come out naked.
Like beetroot red with a fag on in the snow, just not realizing that they're going to be dead in about 3 weeks. What a life.
What a life.
Anyway,
okay.
You know me, I love to detour off, but whatever. So upcoming events, woohoo! Yeah. Ongoing events. I'm really sorry. Events. These kind of like one game every 2 weeks TTS events. They're brilliant, and there's always so much Warhammer to watch on Discord. But they don't have to go on for a long time. So we're down to the final now, Rob, in the Butcher's Tribe. So the Bad Moon Loons, they're playing against the Seraphones. So, these two teams, when you look at who was there at the start...
Super Series team in the Bad Moon Loons.
Yeah, man. And, you had the team I was on, Fiction, and, the Alpacas, and you had, the AOS Shorts Pro team. You had a lot of teams which, with big heavy hitters. Team Bin with Luke Morton and Dan and Simon Hall. We all fallen by the wayside, and it's the Bad Moon Loons versus the Seraphones in the final.
Wow.
So,
and Seraphones are our American team.
Yes, they are. Some American team, as I was
Some American team, who we talked about last week in detail, you mardy bitches. So America versus the UK. Oh, my God. It's like a tea party all over again. I'm very excited about this. This is fun. When do we know? Do we know if the pairings has gone up yet, or if they've done the draw?
I don't know. I don't think Pask's in the chat today. But yeah, I think that's still TBC. There's another tournament now running in concurrently with it, and with the other tournaments, there's a lot going on. But yeah, we'll get the hot tea on that as and when.
Exciting.
And then the World's AOS still is underway. There's still a lot of games. I believe all the games have to be wrapped up by Thursday. So perhaps on next Monday's show, Rob, we'll just dip in and maybe have a look at a couple of teams from the Worlds. Perhaps
that would be really nice. That would be really nice. I think that'd be a fun little journey. Yeah. Pask also not being in the chat clearly because he's hanging his head in shame, not being up to 3-0 with Seraphon. I think is the takeaway. Big love to you, Pask. The matchups have been agreed on Discord. Okay, we'll find out that and we'll talk about it next week. Maybe we'll get the results in. Upcoming events, though. Owen, let's talk about upcoming events, what we got going on.
Well, there is a lot out there, but there's just two I wanted to touch on because they're kind of in the diary, nailed on, and we kind of know a bit more. So, Chris and James from Mortally Wounded podcast, that's Chris Welfare, they've announced Sydney Slaughter over in Australia. So 12th and 13th of June in New South Wales, a place called Padstow. I got the pack and it looks really interesting, really well written pack, lots of really good focus on, loads of hobby awards. Looks like a really good venue, really good food. So, I think Sydney Slaughter looks to be a really good one this year. So that's on the 12th and 13th, 70 players.
Also, Chris is just an absolute angel. I'm just going to put it out there, just in case anyone's missed that.
Yeah. I reckon that's going to be a really good one this year because they obviously run that every year. I released the pack for Hammer Time 8. So 17th, 18th of April. So we're looking at about 3 weeks now, I think. Yeah. And much like based on the conversation we had last week, Rob, I've announced the missions in advance. We're going to try that out and see how that goes. And it does seem odd. Like I do really think from playing so many tournaments in the UK, it would be normal that you wouldn't have the missions. But I listened to the feedback, and we're playing the following. We're going to play Starstrike, Scorched Earth, Battle for the Pass, Shifting Objectives, Total Conquest. What do you think?
Interesting. Shifting objectives made it into a lot of missions at the minute. You got any reasons as to why? Was there an intent behind the choice for shifting objectives, or all of them as a whole?
Yeah, I just think it benefits armies that have got good battle line. But at the same time, you can't just sit and camp. I don't think you need to have you need to have movement to be able to go and get onto the the primary objective. And I just think I have to admit that I did try and limit the amount of missions where that big teleport or the drop down from the sky is too powerful. Like I actually think forcing the hand, I really like it as a mission, but I think it does benefit those teleporting armies too much. And the same with total commitment. So I've gone for Battle for the Pass as one where we're quite stretched out. I like Star Strike because it's a bit of variance. I like Scorched Earth round 2 because, you get those players and they get their win under the belt. And then, that's a good, it's a really good test. And I actually think Total Conquest is the best mission in the game, personally.
Total Conquest is, really good. Why? How come? What's your reasoning?
There's just lots of different levers to pull. We are quite close to each other, but at the same time, you've got nice, big, deep deployment zones, so you can stay back. It doesn't benefit the alpha because if you go and take all the missions, all the objectives early, then your opponent has the opportunity to score more points because you get an extra point when you take it back off them. And it also benefits, a selection of heroes, having 3 heroes in the list so that you get that extra point. I just think it ends up being such a dynamic game. You get people, because you often go one way or the other, there's a lot of wheeling. And the board can look completely different after a couple of hours of play. So there's one little question actually, which does lead into one more thing on the pack, and then we'll round it out. But basically, Dan Brook says, with Hammer Time, are there time restrictions for starting the match? Just wondering, as kids sometimes need feeding, like a starting round time. There are going to be starting round times. It's going to be pretty fixed, but also I'm implementing, and it's written into the pack, that we're having a strict 3-hour rounds, Rob. I'm going to give 15 minutes.
So what's your intent on enforcing that? Because one of maybe the problems we're talking about is that some of the matches have overrun in some cases.
Yeah. Basically, I just think that Warhammer, when you play a 6-hour game, it's very different to a 3-hour game. And I do think that I don't necessarily play the fastest armies per se, but I do think that certainly, say like a 2-day tournament, like Game 3 on the Saturday, when you can overrun, I think that perhaps some players, nobody does it intently, but you're just like, you're leaning on the tournament organizer's good nature when you're like, we're at turn 4 and I just need another half an hour, and you're like, well, you've been playing for 5 hours, you need to stop at some point. So we're going to have 3 hours with a 15-minute grace period to account for any technical issues, because sometimes bad internet, shit like that. I don't want to put people on the clock per se, but I have put in the pack that you should. Shall I just read it to you very quickly, Rob?
Yeah, okay, interesting. Because the wording's going to be interesting. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, this is the wording. Effectively, I didn't want to come across as being too dictatorial, but it just says, Hammer Time has strict 3-hour rounds, which should give ample time to complete a game of Age of Sigmar. I'll give a 15-minute grace period at the end of each round to account for technical issues. If players cannot reach a satisfactory conclusion to their game, then the organisers will make a judgment. It is incumbent on all players to have their army constructed and labelled correctly, with traits, artifacts and spells detailed in the description. This will speed up the army discussion at the start of the game, make things clear for your opponent, avoiding issues of confusion during the game. Having a good grasp of your own rules is mandatory. And then there's a note about foul and abusive language, because there's been a few little minor things in previous tournaments. But yeah, basically, like you've said in the past, and I know that you've upset some people by saying it, Rob, but whatever. Knowing your own rules is the minimum entry level, right? To be respectful towards your opponent, you need to know your own rules. And I think that perhaps with TTS, the opportunity to play anything without any buy-in has meant that people maybe are bringing lists that they don't know that well, and things are a little bit slow. So yeah, I don't want to come across as being rude towards anybody or anything. I just want to put that structure in, and I think that that's beneficial. And we all play, because what's the point in getting used to playing 4-hour games or 4.5-hour games, and then you go to a real life tournament and you're like, shit, I can't get this done.
Also, I want to know. I want you all to know right now, when we start going to real world tournaments and half you only finishing half your games, and some judge reckons it's the right decision to like decide how your game goes, like some sort of clairvoyant, I'm going to mug off your tournament and you as people for the entire experience. Like, it's ridiculous. We're not doing it. It's not the culture that we're going to develop. We're going to learn our rules. We're going to play in 2.5 hours, and the 30 minutes at the end, we're going to become best friends. And we'll make friends, and we'll go to the bar, and we'll have a nice time. We're not doing it as a group. We're finishing games. We're encouraging each other to finish games, and we're all having a big chat about it. And I think it's really healthy. And I'm proud of you, Owen. I'm proud of you, Barney. I'm proud of you, Jeffrey. I'm proud of everyone listening. You're all going to do a great job, and we're going to get a really good, healthy culture. And when new people see the tournament experience, they go, wow, everyone's so friendly, finishing their games and shaking hands. What a lovely experience. That's what we're doing. We're being positive about it. And the flip side, we're mugging people off if they don't. Well, I am. That's my side. Yeah, right, okay. So, Owen, well done. Because I know that you're also such a lovely fella. Like, so you just want everyone to have a good time. You recognise that there's an issue there, and I think that that's really positive on your part.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I have come unstuck in the past that I don't really like. I'm a pretty conflict averse, so when people do put you in a bit of a spot and you have to make that decision, it can be quite tough on the TO, especially if you maybe like know one of the players and things like that. So I do think it'd be nice if the players can make the best effort in any tournament they enter to not put the TOs in a difficult position, because nobody wants to, spoil someone's day or someone's game or whatever. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and it's a living document, so I will be tweaking it and changing it if need be. But the main thing is, Warhammer in tournaments is wonderful. You meet nice people, you have a good time, you learn, you experience different cultures, etc. So if anybody's never played in a tournament before, don't feel that these restrictions are going to stop you having a good time or inhibit you from entering. If people would like to enter, they can come and join the 80 plus people that already have, and we'll have a lovely time.
Let's go. Yeah, big love for that, and big love for all TOs in the world. And as everything starts up, you guys might be people listening from around the world who are like, I'm going to start running tournaments, Rob. I'm loving all the conversations I hear on the show. It's really positive. I encourage you to do so. And I also encourage you, if you can't be the person that engages with people, you hire someone like Neil Kerr, who's the head judge of the WTC. You can listen to him talking last night. I don't think he was in any way shy about telling people that it's the end of the round and you score 0. Like, I don't think he had any issue.
I think he seemed to enjoy it, to be honest with you, Rob.
So just find yourself a local masochist and just get straight in. It's like 0 points for you as they dance away. Okay, so... and I agree with Gilly as well. Right, okay, so that's Hammer Time 8, which is the 17th and 18th of April. We will do some live coverage, so keep your eyes peeled for that, for a weekend of us hanging up. There is 82 people signed up. That means there's still 40 places. If you guys want to sign up for a TTS event, it's still plenty of time away. You can practice, you can get better. So do sign up. The link will be obviously in the chat now. It'll also be in the show notes. I think that's really, really important. So yeah. Sign up, because that'll be a huge, right? Have we had 100 players before in one event?
I've had 100 players at an overall weekend, but it wasn't like at the same singular tournament. So no, if we can get to 100, I think that'd be super cool. I'm gonna just put a link in the chat. Yeah, if anybody does want to join, that's cool. And also, just to address, sorry again, what are your plans when real events can happen? Will you be running real Hammer Time in real life? Yes, I would like to. I really would. It's quite a big undertaking, and I've had some people, approach me and say, we can help. We've got terrain. We've got this. We've got that. So, yeah, I think I will do a Hammer Time, especially after Neil. I see the days Neil Kerr said that TTS events are harder to organise than real life ones. Didn't he say that? I'm pretty sure he said that.
But he is also talking about multinational teams of 8.
Oh yeah, that's like fucking herding cats, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's like, is your team ready? No, one of our 8 isn't ready. Whereas I think a singles event is like, are you ready? No, sweet, you can get off. Like, I could sort that out. I think that changes up a little bit different. But yeah, 100 people, 128 people will be amazing. So there's 82 right now. So be a part of that. Be a part of that Age of Sigmar history and hit up to the 100 people mark. So get involved. It's going to be really fun. We done? Are we done? Are we going to do the votes? Is this where we're at now?
Oh shit! Yes, been holding on to a piss for about an hour.
Well,
and I've just
you
realised,
can go.
guys,
You can take it if you just want to pop off for a sec, and then can. Or if
that
you've
okay?
got to go, yeah. Help
No,
yourself.
I haven't got to go. Mate, I've
Yeah.
got nothing better to do. This is
You do
great.
that, and I'll start. I'll
momentarily.
intro this bit. That's what I'll do.
Shall I take my microphone with me, Rob? A
No,
professional would never do that, would they?
Let's not do that. All right, Twitch chat. So just to let everyone know what's happening right now, while Owen takes a break, there is a TTS event happening between the hosts of the Honest Wargamer. It's teams of 2 in a double-blind pairing process. So let's say me and Owen are a team. We're not. It's me and Nick are in a team, actually, so we're going to smash. We just randomly will play another team in a knockout tournament. It's going to be super fun. There are 12 of us signed up. But you guys are going to get to pick the lists. This is what we're doing today. So via the voting system, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to show a list. I'm going to show a list in the chat. So it's going to be list 1. And then you guys will be able to vote who gets to play with it, basically. So we'll put some names in here. You can only do 5 at a time, so we're going to have to go through this process slowly. But I'll try and be as quick as possible. James.
Not for me, man. You just you take your time.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. So list 1, which I'm about to. So we've got 3 minutes on the clock for you guys to vote. List 1, I'm going to show on the screen right now, is a Skaven List. It's a Master Molder. It's got Thankful and Bone Ripper. It's got 40 giant rats, 10 giant rats, 2x4 rat ogres, and then a Hell Pit Abomination. Oh, I've actually shown list 16, but this is fine. And then 4 Hell Pit Abominations. So you guys should be able to vote in the chat right now. I'm pretty certain. Let me just see if that's happening. It is happening live, which is fun. Owen, do you want to be playing this list? You are actually currently in the running to play this list. Is this a you do or you don't?
Yeah, I'd play this. This looks hella fun. 4 hell pits with a load of rats. I mean, I hope I don't face crawlers or something. There's no crawlers in this. No, there's no crawlers in this. But yeah, no, this looks fun. How's it going to work? Because I've got the title again. If people missed the start of the show, I've got the abbreviated title, which is the Honest Wargamer, Honest Ass-Kicking Inter-Show Co-Host Throwdown Showdown with the fists. Boom. I wanted to make Dan happy of me that I remembered his actual full title, because it doesn't roll off the tongue easily, does it now, Rob?
A lot of people. How does it work? It's a great question.
Yes.
We're doing this in stages. We got people signed up. Great start. We think it's teams of 2. Great start. You are actually paired up with Tom Layton, his first Age of Sigmar event, right? Oh no, you're not. Who are you paired up with?
I'm with James, man. James and I. Team Corn.
Team Corn. Well, no. Once Nathan can't be voted to play every list, so once someone, we can only put 5 people up to be played. I'm with Nick. Leighton and Dayton are a team. I think Scrivo and Bud are a team. I can't remember. We'll obviously announce it. We'll do some graphics. We've got a lot of graphic designers in the group, so we'll be sorted.
Yeah. That was the list. Yeah, you've got there's a super team of Darren, Watson, and Dan unsupervised. I think between you and Nikos and then Darren and Dan, I think that's a problem. Do I get to vote?
You get to vote, yeah. Shit. Also, just everyone, the Adam in the chat is Adam Chucklebutty Adam, not Adam Mumford. He wrote all the lists or stole them from the Secret Santa event. So if you guys want to, it's looking pretty good. It's sorting up. There's but seconds left on the clock. I don't know if 3 minutes was too long. You can use both channel points and also financial points in bits if you really want to.
I've got 136,000 channel points, so I'm just gonna be spamming this. Because just for viewers, you can vote as many times as you want, I believe, can't you?
The games are happening again to be announced. There's a lot of organisation still needs to happen. So right, okay, I'm ending the poll. The poll is officially ended. Nathan Prescott with 48% of the vote will be playing list 16, the giant rat list. So 4 Hellpit Abominations, 40 Giant Rats. He is very angry about his computer machine not potentially working. So let me just write this down. So Nathan is playing list 16 and is out of the running. Okay. Owen, do you want to pick a number between 1 and 15 for the next list?
8, Korn's number, please.
Okay, and that is a Cities of Sigmar Greywater Fastness list. You guys can see it on the screen there. Let me just organise the poll so we can do a new poll. 1 second. This isn't the fastest, so question. So this is going to be list number 2, or list 8 actually specifically.
Wow, the chat really aren't happy about Nathan getting the Skaven list, but you're in control, peeps. You're in control.
Yeah, you're in control. You guys get to. So Owen for this one, me, I guess, Dayton. Then we'll do Chuckle Buddy, and also
Darren.
We'll do
Darren in there.
Darren will be in there for this one. So there's 5 people. The poll has started. Let me just put the link in the chat. What do you make of this list, Owen?
I was going to say, I think this is really good. I quite like this. He's got, he's got a steam tank with a commander, a Hurricanum to buff, Cogsmith, Rune Lord, 20 Iron Breakers, 4 steam tanks, 2 gyrocopters. I think Nathan would have loved this. I must say, this smacks of Nathan, doesn't it?
You guys picked it. Like listening to him play for 3 hours or probably 8 on his TTS game with with Skaven, it's worth it. So whoever voted knew the right things to do. You don't want to give him the thing he wants. Come on,
no.
Twitch chat.
The thing is, Rob, that there's so much love in the community for Mr. Prescott. You could have put any list up first, then he would have just won the first vote because people just, there's just that clamour. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to vote. Who's voting?
Well, currently you've got Darren Watson, Chuckle Buddy, our infield reporter. You've got Dayton, our Sunday show host. You've got me, of course, and you've got Owen. I'm really enjoying that there's very few votes for me all the time. Like everyone's waiting for the really rough list to dog on me.
I do actually think Dayton would quite enjoy playing this list because he was playing some dwarves for a little while. But this would actually be quite a good one for someone who hasn't played a lot of TTS. So somebody like perhaps Adam Chucklebutty, because there's not too many models to move around. Oh my God, Nathan moving around 40 giant rats is going to be fun, isn't it?
I'll just let you know what the list is. There's obviously Mr. Budtastic Guy. There's Dan Unsupervised. There's Dayton. There's Nikos. There's Owen. There's James Powell, Scrivo, Tom Layton, Nathan, me, Darren, and Mr. Chucklebutty. So that's the current. That's the entrance list. I think maybe intern Matt might be our TO for the weekend or for the week or whenever. I think he's going to make sure everything is kept above board because he seems like someone who can control that bunch of 12 absolute lunatics who are uncontrollable. Imagine TOing the Honest Wargamer crew. Be on time. No, fuck you.
Yeah. It's more like crisis management rather than tournament organising, isn't it?
For some reason, turn up in high vis and a hard helmet. It's like, what do you need that for? I don't know, but I might. Colonel Cabbage, thanks. Colonel Cabbage offered to be a TO as well. All right, perfect. That works. We need that, so good. Let's see how the poll is doing. Seconds left on this poll. It looks like it looks like Darren's taking this one. I'm going to end it right now. There we go. So Darren will be playing a Cities of Sigmar Greywater Fastness list. Oh boy. Okay. Owen, I'm going to show the next list. Do you want to pick a number between 1 and 16?
15, please.
Okay. 15 for you guys. If you want to... so this is the Beasts of Chaos list with multiple dragon ogres. Okay. So this is going to be list number 15. And who is left? So Owen's still in the running. Let's put Nick in the chat. So Nikos, if you guys want to there. We'll also throw Tom Layton in as well for this one. Who else should we throw in the mix in this? Budtastic Guy, and also Dayton. That's what we're going to throw into this mix. There we go. And the poll has begun. If you guys would like to vote in the chat, this link up. Right, let's talk about the list, Owen. Sorry, I didn't. Next time you choose the 5 people next time, Owen. So it's not. There's no bias in the situation. There's only 5. You can't put more than 5, otherwise I'd put everyone in, so we could all vote on everyone. I did not cleverly put myself up. I just didn't throw myself. For fuck's sake! Right, Dragon Ogre Shaggoth.
I've played against this. This is the list where if you fucking if you draw on priority, then the whole army heals D3 wounds or something silly from Thunderscorn. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's all right. This looks like Tom Layton looks like he might be playing Dragon Ogres. Rob, there's some big energy there for Tom.
I think Nick's in the chat, so I think Nick really wants to.
Okay. Let's keep going.
I don't mind playing this. I didn't. You choose who. You choose the next list, Owen, and also who's in the mix. From Tory Rob at it again. I don't mind playing this. This is fine. The Dragon Ogres are they're good, right?
Yes. Is that the right word? No, they're
maybe.
Okay. No, they're okay. They're good. They're good. They're a lot of wounds on a 4-up save. And he's got 2 Jabber Slides and a Chimera. It's going to be a hot mess.
Gossip that apparently now this is the Rob Dodge. Apparently, this is like I'm fucking FIFA or something trying to organise a fucking scam.
I can't confirm or deny that I'm sat here just voting for Tom to get the list so that I don't. By the way, I'm just smacking. I'm down to about 10,000. I've just spent 120,000 channel points on trying to dodge this.
It looks like Tom's definitely getting it. He's been thrown under the bus aggressively in this situation.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have told the channel that though, Owen, because. Oh my God!
Stop! Oh no!
Oh no! Contestant vote tampering, yes, and to think this list would have worked if the Chimera hadn't dropped 20 points in the winter of 29 FAQ. That's true. It wouldn't have worked. It is shifted, Owen. Grimslacker in the chat. Owen takes the lead. Oh my God.
Oh man, this is like how Trump felt, isn't it? Fucking hell. It's like,
I'm winning! Stop the count! Stop the count! What is it even? Oh, yeah, you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great time. There's seconds left. It's the end of the poll. Owen Jackson is playing a Beast of Chaos Dragon. He's sick of it. Oh, I'm sorry, lads. Let's put that in there. So list 15. List 15. Owen, do you want to pick us a new list? Oh, he's gone. He's fucking gone.
Never been more disappointed in all my life.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I can't wait for you to play it and then afterwards be like, I'm really into Beast of Chaos now. I'm really into it. What is the next number you want to pick us to pick? That's the question.
I don't care. I don't care anymore.
All right, I'll pick list 2. List 2. It's okay. We already know. Should we all pretend that we voted for James? It's list 2 and it's the corn list. Should we just pick James and move on? Because I know where it's going. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just going to write list 2 is James. We're not even going to put it to the vote because we know where that's going. I know where that vote's going. We don't need to waste any of our time.
That is a wicked list. I'll be honest with you. That's a really good list. Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 corn lists. All right. So list 3 is a Stormcast Eternals list, and it's got a bunch of different stuff in. So let me just organise the poll here. Oh God, this is a lot to do. New poll. So this is list number 3, and it says Dan in the list. There's a lot.
Oh no! Oh no!
So this is list number 3, and this is so I'll put Dan in the list at the top just in case you wanted to vote for him to play Stormkeep Patrol with all of the Liberators, and then Rob. Who else do we want? Scrivo, Chucklebutty. And then who's left? Dayton.
See, I think Chucklebutty, yeah, he said it there. Me, please. I think Adam really wants this one because he's a Stormcast player at heart, isn't he? Chuckles.
Yeah. He is. He's a big Stormcast fan. But is that as interesting to the audience as forcing Dan unsupervised to play with loads of Liberators? Is the real
evidently
point.
not. Evidently not. Looking at the bloody voting as it is. Can you see? Can everyone see the voting? Everyone can, can't they?
Yeah. You can. Everyone can they can see it live as well. And I'll put a link in the chat for you guys. So it's constant. No one gets to pick except Rob. Apparently, I didn't pick. Can we leave me alone? Yeah. So we'll see what's in the list. Veritas, Stormkeep Patrol, 6 Gryph-hounds, 6 Vanguard Raptors with Hurricane Crossbows. I like that build. I talked about that initially. 20 Liberators, 2x5 Liberators. The Lord Celestin on Stardrake is in the list. Wow. That's cool. 2 Knight Venators. That's a fun list though, right?
Yeah, it's Stormkeep Patrol as well. So you got your 20 libs to just slap down. Yeah, it's a good list. It's probably better than a load of Dragon Ogres and a guy called Shaggy. But
You've got 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, Owen. So yeah, stop being pissy about it.
Wow. Double Shaggathon.
This is going to take a while.
I think this is going to take a while, yeah.
Yeah,
I might order my lunch. No, you're okay.
Yeah.
I was really into it. I was so excited, and then I got given Beast Chaos. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Colonel Cabbage there. Owen loves the Chimera. I hate the Chimera. He beat me with 4 Chimeras once. Yeah, damn it.
Shag's all right. Go on.
I can't believe we've actually increased the viewership through this hot mess, Rob. I'm impressed. We've actually got more viewers than when we started doing this. So
that's great. Nate, I think I saw Lekka in the chat. Nathan Prescott, if you are watching live, I want you to know if you look at the list document, which you will never find the link for, you got list 16. So you're actually playing 4 Hellpit Abominations and Skaven. I want to know what his reaction is in the chat there. I like that so far everyone's unhappy. You're unhappy. Nathan's unhappy. Dan's unhappy. And James. It's just 5 currently people who are unhappy with their lists.
I mean, Dan's got this, isn't we? We can probably stop the poll there unless they want to do an Owen on it.
79% of the vote. Let me just write this down. So Dan has got list number 3. Okay. Right, so next list number 4, just going in order now, is a Bone Splitters Drakfoot list. So let me just do a new poll. So this is list number 4. And in this, there's Bud, Dayton, Rob, or not. Oh, no, actually, no, Owen, you choose the people. I'm just remembering names.
I want to put Bud in there because he's a destruction player, and I think he'd have a lot of fun with this list. I'll put Nikos in there.
He's in there.
Darren's already been picked off, hasn't he?
Yep.
I'm going to put you in there, Rob. I think you'd enjoy playing this, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And then Dayton and Tom Layton.
Okay, perfect. I was going to say, I don't think you're quite getting the vibe of the show. It's not what would someone enjoy. It seems to be what would someone not enjoy. Seems to be the current. So the vote is up now. So Bone Splitters. So what's in here? 2 Rogue Idols. Fuck yeah. In the Cop Ruck. 30 Savage Uruks is nice. Loads of naked boys. And then the big Cop Ruck. So 2 Rogue Idols is loads of fun here. Bony boys, War Dogs.
I think that the Rogue Idols have the Iron Jaws keyword, don't they? So he's got the War Chanters in there to buff them both up and then just throw them forward with Breath of Gorka Morka. That's a wicked list, actually. 160 wounds. Yeah.
Really
solid.
Strong.
Yeah. Super
really
solid.
Strong. I wouldn't know what, Owen, 12 Dragon Ogres would do to a Rogue Idol, because that's something you're going to have to work out.
Tickle its stony balls and get smashed, probably. That's about That's probably the entirety. Looks like Tom's getting a lot of love here. I think
a lot of love. I think Tom's probably taking this. There's a moment for the comeback, of course. We don't want to end the vote too early, like we saw, but it does look like this is going to be Tom's list at the moment. Okay, so I think we'll end the poll there. So Tom's got the list there. So list 4. Congratulations. Let me just fill my show notes in.
I would say that probably 70% of the list is naked or semi-naked, so I think he'd be happy there.
Very happy. List 5 is an Oceanic Bone Reapers list in here. So let me just do a new poll. So this is list 5, and
it has the
Do you want to read out what's in the list while I pick some names?
Rob's got to be in here because he tried the Deathglaive and said it was shit. So I reckon that Rob's got to have this one. Okay, this one's Rob's.
I did think it was shit. I was like, oh no. Let me just see who's left over. Chuckabutty and Scrivo still need a list.
Oh yeah, Scrivo. We need to get Scrivo because we need to give Scrivo a good list, don't we?
We do. Something that he's happy with. Or unhappy with. So poll has started. So what's this? The Cavalos Lance and the Deathglaive. Oh my god. So you got the Archive and the Stalkers. They're in the Deathglaive, so they get a pre-game move. And then you got I mean, it looks cool on the tabletop. I just want to say, like, it's a cool looking list. I honestly think this loses to the Dragon Ogres all the time. Like, because it just.
Yeah, probably because it doesn't have many bodies and it doesn't have much summoning back. But it's fast. I mean, it can run and charge and has a pre-game move, and it can retreat and charge with the lance. And yeah, the Artisan's Key means that you can bring back extra models. I think it's cool. It's very elite. It's quite hard mode. That's why I think you should have to play it, Rob.
And the chat seem to agree. Although everyone wants. Oh no, there's a lot of votes for Scrivo going in.
Don't give it to Scrivo. It's so tough, and he doesn't even know how to play Age of Sigmar, does he?
He does, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
We need to know there is no Sons of Behemoth list. I'm pretty certain. There isn't a Sons of Behemoth list. I like how the chat are like, we're waiting to know if there's a Sons of Behemoth list.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Rob. I'm just too busy smashing vote 200, vote 200, vote 200 on you. Yes, there he goes. There we go. I think the dam's broken, boys and girls. The votes are flooding in.
It's still close. What lists are left? All right, I'll let everyone know quickly what lists are left. There's a Nighthaunt list. There is a Hedonites list. There is a city. Oh no, we've done the cities list. There's a Fireslayers list. There's another Blades of Corn list. There's an Ogre Moor Tribes list with all the Thunder Tusks. I really want to play that. There is a Lumineth Realm Lords list with all of the new Alaris spirits. There's a magnificent. There's a Nurgle list and there's a Gloomspite Gits list. So that's what's available. Rob is getting the Sinesh list shortly, apparently. Giggy's card cheered 300 bits. Thanks very much. Hey, Podcast Bro here. Tuned in live for the first time yesterday. Tried for the constant content. I hope I did that right. You did. Thank you, Glengis Khan, for donating 300 bits. And stay hydrated, Hydro Homie. Owen, it's still neck and neck, mate. It's 50%, 49%.
I think now that people have seen that everyone's like, give Rob Slanesh, then I think that it's gone the other. I've actually switched to voting for Scrivo, by the way.
Such a bunch of wankers. I don't want to play the Slanesh list at all. Oh my god. Fine. Poor Scrivo getting thrown under the bus with this list. Fuck.
At least they'll be able to go run forward and smash some stuff, like 6 Stalkers and 6 Archai. Although the Archai aren't the ones with the good damage, are they? They're the ones that soak up wounds for heroes.
Yeah.
I think we call it there, Rob. What do you reckon?
Yeah, all right. Let's call it there.
Got it.
It's ended now anyway. Scrivo has got it, so sad face for me. We'll just to get it out of the way. So this is list number 5. Let me just go find the Sinesh list and see what people would like to vote on. Nighthaunt, Hedonites. So I'll just quickly do a vote for list 7. So new poll. So list 7, which is the Sinesh list. So Rob, who's left? Chuckabutty, Dayton, Bud, Nick. Is the votes available here? So these are all the people who could play Sinesh. Just want you to know that Chuckabutty likes Sinesh. I'd just like to point out who else. Bud likes Sinesh. So if you guys want to vote for any of those.
I love how completely pointless those last 2 statements were, Rob. Absolutely. what a waste of breath.
Okay. What's in this list? What fucking Sigvald? Fuck me. Keeper of Secrets. Oh my god. What is this? A Chaos Spawn? A fun fucking crusher? Oh my god. This is like day 7 of the Sinesh book coming out, and everyone was just really trying. They were like, "What if?" Okay, all right. We'll end the poll there.
I don't think there's one Chaos Spawn, Rob. I think you've got 6 that are going to be rosing around a piece of terrain and getting a rock.
Chaos Spawn. All right. So with a grand 159 votes and 98% of the vote, it looks like Rob is playing Sinesh. Sweet. Okay. We've skipped around a little bit. So there was a Nighthaunt list still available. Do you know what? We'll do one because I know it's in here and he's in the chat. We'll do a new Rumineth list. So this is the new. So end that result. Do a new poll. So this is the ruse, and this is Adam really wants to play this. So Mr. Chucklebutty wants to play this. There is also who else is available? Nick, Tom Layton. Tom Layton would enjoy this because it's super 40k. Which I think is available. Dayton and Bud. So these are people still need lists. So start this poll. This is a current Alarith Temple. 2 lots of 5 Stone Guard, Stone Mage, and the Stoneheart King. Oh no, wait. This is not Ruse. This is all mountain men. This is got to be Dayton. He lives up a mountain.
Moomineth, yeah.
Yeah. This is surely you should vote for Dayton. He lives up a mountain. He's full of mountain men. This is all his.
Oh,
stuff.
you can't vote. You can't vote for Tom because he's already got his list, hasn't he?
Tom Layton.
Yeah, he's playing the Bone Splitters.
Oh, that's my fault. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is. So don't vote for Tom Layton. He is null and void. So don't vote for him. So vote for someone else. I think. Well, who's left? Let me just see who's left. So there's.
It's like we're making it up as we go along, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, we're doing really well. I'll have you know. So let me just. So these are the people that are left. So yeah. Oh, there's only a couple of lists left available. People to play. So there's Dayton. So currently there's Bud, Adam, Dayton, and Nick don't have lists. That's the situation. Okay. So that makes it easier for me to fill in the poll.
People are just voting for Tom now, even though he's already got a list.
Stop being dicks. Why are you voting for Tom? Vote for someone else. I'll just null and void it. So Chucklebutty looks like he's going to be the winner. So I'm ending the poll there. So it
nice.
Is. It's not Tom Layton. It's Chucklebutty. That's what I've decided. So well done, Chuckles. You've got yourself list 12. Okay, there's only a couple more. I'm sorry this is taking so long. So
Don't apologise to me.
There's only 3 people. There's only 3 people left. Owen.
Okay. Yeah.
Pick
what have we got left?
So the lists available are a Nighthaunt list. So I'll just fucking delete that list. A Nighthaunt list, a Cities of Sigmar list. We've already done that. A Fireslayers list, another Blaze of Corn list, an Ogre Moor Tribes list, a Kangaroo list, a Maggotkin list, a Gits list, and a Beast of... Oh, no, that's yours. So, yeah, those are the lists available. Which one do you want to vote on?
Ooh. Let's put the Gits list up. Gits.
Okay. So, the Gits list is whoever you want to play for 18 hours, basically. So, the Gits list 14. Available is whoever you want to punish and make them play.
Okay, let's not use that one then. Let's put the ogres list in because that's going to be like 6-hour games otherwise, isn't it? With 100 stabbers. Yeah, go for the ogres list. That's proper TTS.
I'm so gutted I don't get to play. I'm so gutted I don't get to play this list. So the only people left to have a list are Dayton, Nick, and Tom. No, Dayton, Nick, and Bud. So Dayton. Nick and Bud. Okay. So start your voting now. Who you want to play as Spider Gits. So this is Thunder Tusk. So this is actually being played genuinely at the moment, right? This is the triple Huskard on Thunder Tusks and then the quad Thunder Tusks. No screens. Low-key good. Yeah, low-key genuinely really a good list. Like, so it's 12 dice per Thunder Tusk. Within 18 inches, they move 15 inches, and any 6s are a mortal wound. So what is that? 12, 24, 48, 50, 60, 72, 80, 84 dice. Any 6s are a mortal wound that you like in the shooting phase. Any 6s are a mortal wound. This is just shooting phase. And then obviously you've got all the charges doing mortal wounds. But if you've got units of 10 or more, then you do more mortal wounds. It's secret anti-Seraphon tech. It really is. It's like so many shots. It's incredible. I really don't want this, says Nick. I think Nick does want this.
Somebody's gaming the system right there with the old reverse psychology. I see you, Nikos. I see you. Me and my big mouth.
Oh wait, Nick's on my team. Nick's on my team. I want Nick to get a good list. I've just realised. Okay, focus, Rob. What can I say? Nick does want this. He's reverse psychology, so don't vote for it. Instead, give this to the other team. Who's in your team? Tom?
James and I, isn't it? It's James Powell and I.
Oh, so you have got the good corn list.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we could swap because James really likes Beasts of Chaos. Is that possible with inter-team swapping?
No. Judges ruling. Colonel Cabbage is now the judge. Colonel Cabbage, could you make a judgment call on that, please? He's in the chat. He gets to make the judge on that. No swap, it says Mag Readiness.
I think it looks like it's pretty close. I do like how the way that Nick's plea has garnered him another 8 votes, which it hasn't affected anything in any way.
It's very close.
It is close.
Oh, it's moving more towards Bud now. The Mennonite Knights is what we're seeing here. Hey, I'll do some Thunder Tusks at you. After we'll have a Tim Hortons, that's okay. So it looks like it's gone to Bud. Congratulations to Bud. He has got the quad Thunder Tusks. So it's just down to Dayton and Nikos now. So list 11. Okay, so Dayton. Oh boy.
Have we got more lists than players, Rob? Or have we got the exact same amount of lists?
Yeah, we got more lists than players.
Okay, so what's the last list that we could potentially put forward?
Okay, so these are so let me just delete the ones that aren't that have gone. The Bone Splitters one has gone as well. Right, so that one's gone. So the lists available are: there's a Spider Fang Gits list, yeah. There is a load of Nighthaunt with Bladegeist Revenants, which is a super techie list. There's the Fire Slayer. Can we just fuck off the Fire Slayers list? Oh no, actually, it's quite funny. It's 3x10 Hearthguard Berserk. Auric Hearthguard. And then it's a Rune Father on Magmadroth, Rune Father on Magmadroth, Rune Smiter on Magmadroth, then a Rune Master, and then 2 Berserkers. It's actually pretty cool. Then there's a Blades of Khorne list with the Skull Crushers. So it's the Brass Stampede list.
Okay, yeah.
There's the new. Oh no, wait, we've done the Mountain Mound one. Hold on.
I reckon that's some. What about the Spider Fang? I reckon people will want to see the spiders, won't they? Should we throw the Spider Fang up there?
Just fucking throwing Owen being tactical here and throwing someone under the bus. Okay, let's go.
No,
it's okay. It's okay. List one. This is the Gits list, right? So this is it's between Nick. Oh my god, my teammate Nick. I hope you don't get this because it's gonna fucking suck. Then is it Dayton?
You've done it now. You know you've done
I know.
It now,
I was like, don't say it. Don't say it. Like... Okay, so this is the Gits list. So win at all costs Owen. That's it. He's like working it out. He's like, right, I'll try and push this rubbish list on someone. So this is either Nick or Dayton are gonna get. What is it? Scragrot, Web Spinner Shaman on a Ragnarok, Web Spinner Shaman on a Ragnarok, Web Spinner Shaman on a Ragnarok. Oh my god, 10 Spider Rides, 5 Spider Rides, 5. The Scuttle Tide, Scrap Cuttles. Oh my god, I really wasn't. I want this list. How's the vote going?
Continuing to game the system. It's
very close.
55 for Dayton.
It's very close.
Who's in Dayton's team? It's Dayton and Leighton, isn't it?
Dayton and Leighton.
This would be a destruction team then. The bone splitters and the spiders. I think that's pretty cool. You also missed out from the list, Rob. It's got a Troggoth hag. Come on, the princess herself.
Oh, is she in it? Oh yeah. Okay. A gorgeous Troggoth hag. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's looking like it's going to Dayton.
I appreciate Pete Pratt in the in the chat with the real talk. That's not a great list at all. Just lay it on the line. Calling that a list is being generous? Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I want to see sloppity bar pipers, says Colonel Cabbage. So the last one. So it looks like this is going to Dayton significantly. Oh, that's close, but there's some big votes in the chat. Big votes. Yeah, but I think it's going to Dayton for the big destruction off. I wonder if the co-hosts are currently watching and scamming the system.
I've just seen the chat, and yeah, it's all going off in there, Rob. You wait. So yes, exactly. Chuckles. How do we decide the final list?
So all we do is we put whoever
all
is left, and we put all the lists. So we'll put it up. All right. In which case, it's getting closer. Still getting closer. Oh, when does the timer end? Oh my god, it's getting very close.
You probably.
Zip Zap Rap has the great idea. So what's that? Oh, what was the... It's 50-50, Nick!
Oh my god, it's gone 51 to Nick!
Is it...
Oh, this show is the worst. It's just showing people.
I'm so sorry, Nick.
True character.
My teammate, if I could vote, I'd vote. Oh, it's back! It's back. If I could vote, I'd vote. But I've got literally... I'm not allowed to. I'm the mod. Oh, it's back! It's swung again to Dayton!
This is more dramatic than Pennsylvania. Holy shit!
It's like Georgia voting all over again. Oh, and it's over!
To Dayton! In the last second.
To Dayton, 52%. Mac Readiness donated 50 bits, but Scrivo contributed 56,000 channel points. Wow. Let me just get a breakdown there. Zip Zap Rap also very, very into that vote. Okay. So well done to Dayton for getting what Pete has described as not really even a list. Okay. So then the available lists for Nick are, so if I can just organise the vote for everyone. Manage poll, new poll, is, so what is Nick going to play with? This is the final decision by the Twitch chat here. So the options are a Nighthaunt list with loads of Bladegeist Revenants, a Fireslayers list with loads of Magmadroths and Auric Hearthguardians, Grimgrath Berserkers, a Blades of Cornwrath list with the Brass Stampede and the Mighty Skullcrushers, a Maggotkin of Nurgle list with Nurgle's Menagerie, loads of Plague Bearers, Horticulate Slimmet's Great and Clean One, and the Nurgle's Menagerie. Unfortunately, no Sloppity Bar Piper in the list. And then a Gloomspite Gist with a billion Stabbers and some 15 Smasher Fanatics. Oh my god!
Are we going to be using the new Beasts of Nurgle War Scroll?
Yeah, I think so.
Because have they gone up in price? Actually, no. They because the new beasts are rad. That would be wicked fun.
The new beasts are rad. No, 4 Beasts of Nurgle 280. So no, that's the old list. Sadly, so Nurgle. So just so you guys can remember, so there's Nurgle list. There's this Stampede list, Corn list, and then there's also.
I have to admit, I don't think Plymouth Troll Slayers Adam has really got it in the chat here because he's just put "Don't do Nurgle" because I forgot it's the new shit, and that means that everyone's going to vote for Nurgle now. Adam, damn it! Have you learnt nothing over the last hour?
It's taken an hour. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. So there we go. The final vote for what Nick is going to play, available in the chat. It's Nurgle. It's Nighthaunt spelt wrong. It's Fire Slayers, Corn, all the gits. Let's get Adam to rewrite the list with the new stuff. As the judge, you get to decide, Colonel Cabbage. Congratulations. Whatever the vote is decided on, you get to you get to change it. Or was that the whole plan? Oh no. Was that the whole plan, do you think?
I'm not sure, man. It's been an interesting hour of the psyche of the community that we built up, man.
They just want to punish the hosts. That's why when some like sometimes in the WhatsApp our admin chat, someone goes like, or Scrivo will go, "Oh, why don't you let the Twitch chat decide?" And I'm like, never. Am I letting them decide a thing? Yeah, I'll end up somehow naked, covered in bees, trying to do commentary on a game of Warhammer Skirmish in the middle of a forest or something. Like,
it looks like, there's an obvious winner at the moment, isn't there, Rob?
it's quite clearly
It's between Nurgle or Fire Slayers. If
apparently the Fire Slayers is a quite cool list. I don't know why it's quite cool. It's lots of Magma Droths, the Grimgrath Berserkers, and the Hearthguard. So I guess there's like lots to it, which is super fun. And the double Berserkers. I think what's fun about this is you can see some wild lists play. So this could be good. I mean, I'm happy either way because Nick's my teammate. So I think all of these lists are pretty good. So just keep giving him the good lists because I'm getting nowhere with my Fumroid. I've got a Fumroid Crusher in my list, Owen.
Yeah, that's the only thing you're going to crush with that list.
What are you doing, Rob? Oh, okay, I'm going to beat up my own piece of terrain. I still got Sigmar, for fuck's sake. Oh my god. All right, fine.
I mean, Nurgle has over 3 times as many votes as the.
It's decided.
The Slayers, so
it's decided. There you go. Nick, you are playing as Nurgle. We need a TO decision on whether or not we're getting a rewrite in the chat from Colonel Cabbage, but he can decide. Also, other TOs in the chat could definitely also be Pete if he wants to be. Just a whole bunch of TOs. Like, we need to decide battle plans. You guys can all do that. Like, I can't. Like, that's your team. Owen, it's been a terrible day. That's all I've got to say now.
Could we just have a little recap on who got what and who and what? So in my team, it's my team, James and I's team. James has got Baleful Lords, Run and Charge Bloodthirsters, and I have Dragon Ogres and a load of beasts. That sounds like a fun team. Who are you with, Rob? It's you and
Nick. Me and Nick. So I've got Sinesh, Depravity Farm with Sigvald, Double Keepers, Sigvald, and a bunch of beasts and 6 spawn I've got to try and destroy in my own turn. So nice. Amazing fun. Nick ended up with the Nurgle list, which is getting a rewrite apparently. Dayton got the rubbish spider list. And then Bud got... I can't remember what Bud got. I don't remember. I'll put it up. We'll do a graphic and we'll put it all up.
Bud got the ogres, didn't he? The ogre more tribes, the Thunder Tusks. Bud's going to be driving the snowy monster trucks around. Cool. Well, yeah. Anyway, I can't remember what everybody got, so maybe we'll throw something up on Twitter, maybe. And
yeah, we will. We 100% will.
Are we streaming any of these games, Rob?
To be decided, as also. Maybe we'll stream them all, or we'll stream none. Who knows? Still to be confirmed. But like I promise, we'll put something up. Oh my god, we'll sort it out.
We're doing Blade's Edge for 5 rounds in a row, yeah.
Oh, the TOs can decide. Pete and Colonel Cabbage are now the TOs, so they're decided what the battle plans are and whatever else. So stream them all. Fuck me. What a nightmare. All right, listen, we'll do that soon. Tune in to something that we'll sort out for that, I'm sure. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to join us tonight for the Age of Sigmar show, where we're going to be going through all the Lumineth War Scrolls and asking Nathan Prescott exactly how many points do you think this is, Nathan, and then seeing how close he gets.
It's a tried and tested format, people. It
works really well.
Guaranteed laughs, definitely. Yeah.
What are you doing tonight? I'm going to watch this fella try and guess how much points the thing are at. Do you want to do anything else? It's the only thing I want to do. It's the only thing I want to do.
Yeah.
Let's do a raid. Get this over with quick. And Owen, you've been a delight. Thank you for putting up for this for so long.
That's all right. My stomach doesn't like you at the moment.
No, I'm starving. Let's go. Who can we raid? Let's go find someone to raid right now. Is Fish on? Because that was hilarious. If is Big Goldfish streaming? I don't think he is.
What does he stream? Woodwork.
So Big Goldfish is like a digger driver, and for an hour this morning I was watching him just dig holes.
Hey, on this, Rob, I saw a thing on the internet today. There's a guy like breaking the internet, and he's a plasterer, and he does these very therapeutic videos of scraping plaster out of his bucket. But now people contact him and ask him to do it with like hundreds and thousands or glitter or jelly babies in there. And it's like this kind of like visual ASMR thing. It's kind of, I was into it for about 40 minutes last night. I couldn't put my phone down. It was amazing.
Amazing.
Like, what's next?
All right. We're not even going to raid a Warhammer person.
I keep forgetting that we're talking to people on the internet. Bollocking on, sorry.
That's okay. All right, I found a streamer to raid. In no way is this indicative of anything that I feel or think by this raid. I'd like you all to know. So here we go. Here's the raid. The name of the channel that we'll be raiding is Kiara Kitty. Again, not indicative of anything that I think or feel. We'll see you guys in a moment. Owen, thank you for being a treasure.
No, thank you. It's been fun.
We'll see you guys
enjoy
soon.
the rest of your Monday. Yeah.